than you can from up on the left, because up on the left to a back left pin, you have to look at those you know, the way the green is on the left side as you play it, the way the green is, you know, some of that rumple can kick a ball into the bunker or kick a ball away from the flag. Whereas if you come from the right side as you play the golf hole, if you come down from low to the back left pin, you've got all that flat area on the middle of the green to come over the hummock, hit the flat part, and get a perfect release out to the green. So it's not always the right side that's the perfect way. It's not always the left side. But the thing about it is, you have to understand where the pin is. Not on every hole, but on a lot of the holes, you have to understand where the pin is.
Absolutely. This is a good example for that, yeah. And so the middle of the green is a kind of a resting position when the ball comes slightly in. So you have a better chance from the middle of the green, I understand, than coming from the edge, right? So, and of course, I can see it very well, that you have a kind of overview when you hit the left side of the green, of the fairway, and not coming...
You see every pin. You see every pin. If you come down from the right side, what you see is you know, the pin is like this.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're playing up to that pin, that you can see the top of the pin, but you can't see
no idea
the mounds.
how
you have no idea
the
how far
runs.
it is and how the green runs or anything.
Okay.
Whereas you come in from the top, and most pins, you know, I mean, we had a very, very tight front right pin, which was further back, further back to the front of the green from where it is just now. Really, really tight front right pin. And I remember Phil Mickelson was up on the left side, and he was just in the rough on the side of the bunker. And of course, he was a left-hander, so he was okay. He was standing but the ball was above his feet, and it was in a bit of rough. And he hit this ball out, and it side spun off the hummock front right.
Yes.
Side spun up and over onto the green, and he put it to this and hold for birdie. And you just think, that is such a tight pin. But he came from the perfect angle, albeit he didn't want to be in the rough. Yes. But he could see it from. He was as far left on the top there. He was as far left on his drive as he could be. Obviously, just too far left because he was in the rough. But he knew what he needed to do. He needed to be as far left as he could be to see that pin, because he couldn't get that pin from down on the bottom.
No. And Phil Mickelson is an excellent rescue player, so it turned out well for him.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Exactly. So that's an example of a very wide fairway, no trouble front and right. You know, it's all tight mo. You can putt the ball up to the pin.
Yeah.
You know, there's no problems there. For the good player, the trouble is long and left. Yes, there's trouble short, but most people are coming. You know, most mid-handicappers can't find the top part of the fairway. They're usually down in the bottom, and they've usually got a straight run past the bunker up onto the green, because that bunker is just down and in the dip, and more for the left side, you know, to protect that. So again, it's strategic. It's
Absolutely.
a short par 4. It's downwind. I mean, some people could drive the ball into the dip next to the bunker and start to come up the slope, and try to get to the side. But that's such a devil of a chip from 30 yards or 40 yards through all that rumple to pins along the right side. If the pin was back left, you could do that. And so it gives you choices. It's not just through the goalpost golf, hit your drive 250 yards, and then worry about your next shot from there. It's strategic thinking on the tee. How can I best position myself to the pin on the day? And it's not always the same jigsaw puzzle or the same solution to the puzzle every day.
Could we compare this to the thinking of a caddy? You know, the caddy thinks how has to be the ball to play the next stroke safely.
Yeah.
A kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the traditional player's thinking; it's the caddy thing and the designer's thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And you know, the other thing as well, that in terms of TV, one of the things that we did, if you think about Augusta, what's great about Augusta, which is obviously pertinent now. Next week we go to Augusta, Georgia, to see the Masters again, and it's a fantastic week. But one of the things that Augusta does is it's such beauty in the backdrop of the greens. And the way they do it, so let's take, for example, Amen Corner. You have number 11 coming down to the lake, you have 12 over Rays Creek, and you have 13 going in and round Rays Creek into the corner. And all the crowds are sat up on the bank behind all the golf holes. So when they are looking into the greens, they look into the backdrop and the beauty of the backdrop. And when the player plays, all the spectators are to the side. They're playing into this most beautiful green, 11, wonderful surroundings, the lake on the left. You know, 12, it's the azaleas behind the green and the bunkers and the lake. And then 13, you've got all the way into that beautiful sort of the dogwoods and the azaleas again on the, you know, and so there is no crowds that you see when you look into that. And a lot of tournaments, I think, of late, they've done a lot of crowds behind the greens, stands behind the greens, you know.
That's what I saw.
And so typically you'd have a stand behind the green, you'd look down and watch the play coming into that green. But what we did here was we created along the right side here all the amphitheatre and all the crowd spectators. So there's banks there that you can sit on and look side on to the balls coming into the greens. So the spectators are looking through the green to the view, right? Yes. The players are looking through the golf hole to the view because there's nothing to interrupt them behind the green.
Exactly.
And when you have the cameras are to the side. So the camera takes the shot, and of course what it does was he follows the ball, follows it down onto the green, and what are you on? You're on the backdrop of the view. So rather than being behind the green and doing that to the tee and down, that to the tee and down, and all your view is here, and you never see it on the telecast.
Yeah, they don't.
If you get to the side on, and you see the shot coming in, onto the green, crowds are behind you, and everybody gets the view.
The view, that's it.
Spectators, camera, and the players have no grandstands behind. They get the infinity edge green going out.
I ain't gonna argue, I ain't gonna fight. I gave up on doing the other night. Nothing good ever comes on wasting breath. Round and round on the floor I wept. I ain't gonna argue, I ain't gonna fight. Gave up on doing the other night. Maybe not today, or maybe not tomorrow. I wonder every hour things will get more sour. I ain't gonna argue, I ain't gonna fight. Gave up on doing the other night. Everything's wrong, everything stinks. Only thing they broke in hallelujah is the kitchen sink. I ain't gonna argue, I ain't gonna fight. I gave up on doing the other night. If I hear those words one more time, gonna sit very still and scream in my mind. I ain't gonna argue, I ain't gonna fight. I gave up on doing the other night. Everything's wrong, everything stinks. The only thing that broke a hallelujah is the kitchen sink.